All right, thanks everyone. Welcome. Did everyone enjoy dinner?
Yes. Can we have a big round of applause?
Big hand for our chef.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
All right.
Thank you. It was delicious.
Absolutely. So thank you. Good evening. Welcome again. For those who I've not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Scott Pedowitz. I'm the chair of the Committee of 100 for this program year, and we are enjoying our annual field trip this year. And we are here at the Homeless Services Center that is operated by ASPAN in Courthouse. And so we are in for a real treat. We're going to hear about the great work that's being done here. We are going to get a tour and then an opportunity for some Q&A with the team that's here. I know that while I could go on and keep talking, you're not here to listen to me. So I want to introduce Kathy Seibert, who is the president and CEO of ASPAN, who will take us away for the program. And Kathy, all you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone for coming this evening. And the reason why I'm using this mic, you can't hear? Okay. All right. How about if can we move a little bit closer so we can speak louder? Okay. Can you all hear now? If I speak really loud? Okay. So you're going to have to speak really loud too. So I'm Kathy Seibert, and I'm so proud to be here at the Homeless Services Center. It really is a wonderful testament to concerned citizens, just like all of you all who are here, and a really progressive county government and county board. And so I'm just thrilled because this was a real need in our community, and to have this center, which is the first of its kind in the whole DC metro area, because it's much more than a shelter. So as you saw, we have a full production kitchen, and we serve 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we have a 50-bed shelter upstairs, as well as a 5-bed medical respite program. And we have a full-time nurse practitioner as well as a medical assistant. In addition to that, we receive a lot of funding from the federal government and the state government for housing subsidies. And so we have all of our housing case managers here, and we have a full day program that goes on every day here, and as well as an outreach program. So we have people going out on the streets, because there are still people living on our streets here in Arlington, to bring them services to them on the street. So all of that is contained here, which is really a first of its kind. So we have everything. It's like a one-stop shop for homeless individuals, both men and women. So what I want to do, I don't want to take very much more time, because we're really pleased to have Mr. David Clark here, and he's going to tell you his story. So please, a hand of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. For me, I like to go back about 7 years ago. That's when my life really changed, because I used to deal with ASPAN, drug treatment facilities and all that. Everybody knew me in Arlington County. They told me, said, well, David, you must ran out your medication. That's why you came in here. And they was telling the truth. You know, one guy, the last time I went to the detox, he said, man, so-and-so was talking about you. Said some people is gonna drink, just gonna drink, and you one of them. You know, and I like to say I got 4 years now without taking a drink and a drug.
Yay!
So, you know,
Yay!
that's from being in my own place. I take my medications on time and all of that. You know, I never thought that I'd be in my own place or any place. I was living on the street under the bridge, in park benches, storefronts, and all of that. That's my life. That's why I say 7 years ago, because I finally gave ASPAN a chance. I used to ask people for to help me, but I tell them how to help me, and that didn't work. But this time here, when they told me to do the things that I'm supposed to do to get to where I'm at now, I took their advice. I'm going on 5 years now in my place, you know? So, me and a guy was talking today. See, I'm one of the old-time homeless people, chronic, and used to stay down there in Roslyn. We said, you know what, man? Said, don't nobody hang out no more. We don't see nobody no more. Everybody in places now. You'll see the guys that you used to sleep with under the bridge. They be in the convenience stores, Safeway, buying meals, and everybody all happy and jolly. I never, in my wildest, would have thought this. Me in my own place, eating a good meal. After a good meal, I forget I stopped smoking. I want a cigarette. Then I say, oh, no. But I know how hard it was for me to stop. And, one thing about ASPAN ain't never give up on me. Every time I kept coming back, they always opening up the door. We know that we could get us a hot bowl of soup down there in Roslyn by the McDonald's. Oh, we know for to go get a hot soup, a sandwich, and get a ticket for to go and take a shower over at Washington Lee. I don't know if they still do that. So, this place here is the state of the art. I was telling somebody down there, I said, I was a little jealous, because it wasn't like this when I came through, And the people I see out there now, they the new breed of, thinking that they have entitlement. I did too, I thought that y'all supposed to do things for me. I thought that y'all supposed to, when y'all see me, put money in my pocket and stuff like that. I wasn't like this 7 years ago. That's when I walked through the doors and I went through the changes that I had to go through. When I got my place, I always like to say this. I was in RPC waiting to get my place. And it took all long, and I was saving my money and this and that. So one day, my friends, they didn't even know. I got on the bus. I was going back to RPC to pack my stuff and stuff. When I'm homeless, I travel light. I have me a change of clothes, throw a change away, and get more. But I was going up RPC for the pack my stuff and this and that, and I was going to carry it back to the street. The lady, it was a counselor, she said, she called me, said, Mr. Clark, said, where you at? I said, I'm on my way to RPC. She said, is you sitting there? I said, yeah, it was raining out there too. I said, yeah. She said, you got your place. She said, you don't seem happy or nothing. I said, because I'm crying. That day, it was raining, and I seen the peoples and stuff on the bus going home from work and all that type of stuff. I said, wow, David, you get ready to go home too. So that's how I keep that up front. I keep that up front on what I used to be and what I am now. I always tell people, and my pastor told me, he said, I might be the only Bible somebody might read. The people behind me that's trying to do the same thing that I did, I do care what people say about me today. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, we seen Davey all on the corner rolling around." I mean, not that it can't happen, only by the grace of God. But I don't want to be that guy today. I goes over my how many minutes I got?
About 2 more minutes.
Okay.
2 more.
Today,
He can go on and on and on, but we're so happy for him.
today I get invited to places and stuff like this. I get invited to places when I go over my family house. My sister passed and stuff, and she was my baby sister. So everybody at the table was talking about what they gonna do to chip in. Today, I wasn't the guy that it went past me because they know I ain't got nothing. I was able to say I could put this up and stuff like that. And then when it was time to leave, I didn't wait for everybody and stuff like that so I can ask, can I sleep on their floor? I went home too, So, today I'm just so happy, and I believe it now, because, I get up in the morning, eat me a cold bowl of cereal, and look at a TV program. I'm in my place. Thanks for y'all listening.
Thank you. So, Keely and Mr. Clark, if you need to take him home, just feel fine. Okay, you walked here. I know. He lives right over in the apartment complexes in Marbella, which is really close to here. So anyway, he is really a testimony to what ASPAN and what all of the homeless nonprofits here in Arlington and the county are doing, which is what we've really learned. And the way to end homelessness is you take someone who is homeless and move them into their own home. And they're no longer homeless. And what the philosophy is that you want to move people into housing first. It used to be a long time ago that everybody talked about getting people ready to move, right? Ready for housing. That's not the philosophy now. The philosophy is you move them into their own apartment, and then what you do is you bring the services to them. So with Mr. Clark, what happened is Mr. Clark said that he has been sober for 4 years. He moved into his place 5 years ago. So that means what happens is that when people have their own place, they can get up and they've slept in a clean bed, they have clean clothes, they can fix themselves meals, they can go take a shower. All of a sudden, they're doing all the things that are very normal to us. So for me, a lot of people say, they'll see someone who's homeless on the streets and then say, oh, they should go get a job. Well, I point out to them, look, for me to get a job, in 1 hour, I get up, I'm able to get something to eat, I'm able to take a shower, I'm able to put on clean clothes, and I get into my car, right, to get there. For someone who's homeless, they don't have any of those things. And for many of you all who've worked with ASPAN for a long time, and we have some old board members here in the audience, which I'm thrilled about, because they really understand how far we have come. But it takes all day for someone who is living on the streets to do all those things that I do in 1 hour, because they have to go somewhere to take a shower. They have to go walk somewhere to get some food. They have to go somewhere to get clean clothes. It takes all day. So it really, really makes a difference. And wouldn't you say that's true for you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because once it gets stabilized in housing, everything is much easier. So if people have health problems, they can take their medications on time. If you're getting services, people know where to find you. It's just so much easier, and it's made a huge difference. So what is exciting to me is today is the day that the Council of Governments just released what's called the point-in-time survey results for the whole Metro DC area. And those results are from one night in January when all of us in Virginia, Maryland, DC, we all went out on the streets and we went to the shelters and we interviewed people using this assessment tool, and we counted everybody. And so that just got released. And what I want to tell you is that since the 10-year plan to end homelessness started in 2008, we have reduced homelessness in Arlington County by over 50%, which is amazing. And it really has taken off since we learned about housing people first. It really makes all the difference. But what you're in today, which I'm so excited about, is the Homeless Services Center. And it is just such a wonderful place. So I'm going to take a few minutes, and Scott, what I think we should do is do the tours, because I know that you all will have a lot of questions. We are only going to tour this first floor, and because all of our clients are upstairs. You know, that's their home, so the men sleep on this side upstairs, and then the women are down at the further end, and then in between we have our 5-bed medical respite beds and rooms, and so that's pretty. Upstairs is all our shelter and medical respite program. This floor is the dining room, the day program, the outreach program, and all of our housing programs and administration. So that's what we're going to show you today, in the kitchen. So if you don't mind, what we're going to do, we'll kind of divide them in two, right?
Yeah, why don't I take the first group, and we're going to go to the very back, and then Kathy will stay with this group at the front, and we'll kind of just switch places as we walk through the center.
So we'll take the first 3 tables in the back. We'll go with Scott. And you're going to start at the back end,
Yes,
right?
I'm gonna start at the back.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
And then we'll be up here.
Okay.
So enjoy the tours, and then we'll have time for questions and answers when we get back together here.
A lot of people don't qualify for the housing subsidies that we have because they could be undocumented, right? We about 20% of our population here are immigrants, and so they don't qualify for anything. And what we're trying to do is link them to something, though there's something going on in the church community right now, in the faith community, on immigrants, and so I'm working with them because I'm hoping that we can get maybe some private funding to help get some of these people into housing. And then there are some people who really can't go into housing because they really need to go either to a nursing home, or they may have a mental illness that they really need to be in a group home. And so there are lots of reasons why we can't get someone housed. But we're doing a really good job, but it's hard.
So can some of these people live here indefinitely?
I don't know. That's something that we're going to have to talk with the county about, because it's not just us. It's Doorways, it's Bridges to Independence, and it's the Residential Program Center. It's the same thing. Is that it's a small percentage of the population, but it's about, you know, there's about 20% that we're all having a hard time that we don't really have an answer for. Yes?
What about your connection, if any, with Arlington Free Clinic?
We have a really strong connection with the Arlington Free Clinic. The difference between Arlington Free Clinic and the nursing program that we offer here, so is that Arlington Free Clinic primarily works with low income people who are in their apartments, right, but they're low income. We work with homeless individuals who, some have a mental illness. Arlington Free Clinic won't work with someone who has a documented mental illness. And that's okay, because we complement one another. We really share a lot of information. They've been really supportive of us. We're really supportive of them. They have a thing where, you know, they do a lottery system. So everyone goes each week and they get a number, and if they get up to a certain number, they are able to be seen that week. And but what Arlington Free Clinic does for us is every week they let us have 2 clients go to them. And so what we do is we really use those 2 visits for really specialty appointments. So if we've had people with really, and you saw Kasha, you know how like when you design a program and you have in mind the person that you want to like implement it? And she is just like the most amazing person. She's a West Point graduate, she's a veteran, and she decided to become a nurse practitioner. And I am so grateful that she and her family moved here to the DC area. And so I'm just so happy. Anyway, she has been fantastic, and she is just incredibly persistent. And so, we always, the other thing I want to tell you is about the Arlington citizen requirement. So we can take everybody in. So everyone says, oh, you have such a nice facility. Isn't everybody from DC coming here? Or Fairfax? I mean, we get that all the time. But ever since I've been with this organization, the way we've done it with the Department of Human Services is, because I'm an Arlington taxpayer too, right? I really want these services for Arlington citizens. But we can take anybody in. And we have up to 96 hours to determine if they're an Arlington resident or not. Now that sounds like an oxymoron, right? Because they don't have, they don't have a utility bill, they don't have an address. So, like 8 or 9 years ago, the way we worked that out is that we all the nonprofits in Arlington County and the county use a database. It's called the Homeless Management Information System or something like that. Anyway, and so when our outreach workers go on the streets, right, and they know Scott, and he lives at the Roslyn Metro, right? And so they know Scott, but they might not know his name the first time. So what they do is they type into the database a record that they met with a white male who was wearing a suit. What a nice homeless person. Looks really good, huh? And then as they get to know his name, because sometimes people are hesitant about giving you their name, then they'll type in Scott, and they'll put all of his record together. And let's say that we have we've connected with Scott multiple times, right? And when you go into the database, it's been over 90 days, right? If Scott comes to the center, he is considered an Arlington resident because he's lived on our streets for 90 days. So that's how we do it, because it is an oxymoron for someone who's homeless. You can't determine residency in the same way. But I want to tell you that one of the really nice things is that what we do is, let's say that John Duran over here, who's my past neighbor, let's say that he is not an Arlington resident. And let's say that John came, and this really happened in Roslyn. There was a couple who came up from New Orleans. They thought they would find jobs here. They didn't find jobs. They lived on the streets of Roslyn, and we were helping them. And we discovered that they were from New Orleans. So we, with them, they called their family back in New Orleans, and we made sure that they had a place that people were going to accept them. And yes, their father really wanted them back, but they didn't have money for them. So we fundraised, and we went out to all of you, and we fundraised, and we got money to pay for their bus tickets home. And so then, once they got there, then we called the father to make sure. The same thing happened to us just recently. We had someone, he has a green card, and he ended up in our medical respite program. And he had a lot of really serious problems. He was incontinent, he didn't have very good balance, and so Kasha was able to get him to a neurologist. Again, because of people donating to us, we were able to pay for a neurologist visit, and we get a reduced rate because we always tell them that we're a nonprofit and we need, we do that all the time. And so he determined that this guy had had a series of strokes, which is why he could no longer be a cab driver. He'd been a taxi cab driver here for like 10 years. So we really work hard on this, you guys, because we have no housing option for him. So one of our staff members, our director of finance, is from Pakistan. So she talked with him. She got the phone number of his brother in Pakistan. She came to me and she said, Kathy, she goes, in my culture, families take care of their family. And she said, we need to get him back to Pakistan. So she called his family. They said yes. They were so delighted because they didn't really know what had happened to him. And so we, with donations from all of you, we collected money and we bought him a ticket back to Pakistan. So it's not like we give up on them even if they're not Arlington residents. We're always trying to link them back. So if we get, like during hypothermia, when we have the mats on the floor and stuff that I showed you, if we get someone who's from the district, right? What we do, and they do the same to us, as well as Fairfax, as well as Alexandria. Everyone in all of our jurisdictions does this. So what we did is he could stay here for 96 hours or 4 days. But in the meantime, what we were doing is we're calling the shelters to make sure there's a space for him. We negotiated the space, and then we sent him back to DC. We gave him a Metro card and linked him back, and then we checked with the shelter to make sure he was there. So we really work hard at this. It isn't like we really don't give up, and I think that's what we as a community want. I mean, one of the things, we talk about this a lot, that Arlington is I don't know, Karen, what is it that we say? It's a caring, inclusive, and we are. And so, we are a reflection of the community that we're from, and we're really grateful to all of you. Any other questions? Yes.
Maybe this is that answer, but is this the model of homelessness around the country now? Can I go to Cleveland and find a
No. No. So we are the best. What?
Repeat the question.
Oh, the question was.
Is this the model of homelessness around the country, or are we special?
Right. Is it? Okay, good. I keep
feel
forgetting.
in the area.
Oh, is this the model, or is this the practice for homelessness all around the country? And if he goes to Cleveland, would he find this, right? And no, unfortunately, it's not. And that's why, just like you all are coming, we host so many groups. DC doesn't have this, so we had a big contingent from the DC government who came to look at it. Prince George's doesn't have it. They're all coming this next month. Montgomery County doesn't have it. They were here our first week, and now they're doing it, right? So no, but it is the best practice, and there are pockets, like when we, when the county and us were really thinking about the model that we wanted, there is a model like this up in Bergen County, New Jersey. And so we took a field trip up there to talk with them, to figure out the best practice. We saw things that we really loved, and we saw things that we didn't like when they, which I thought was terrible, they have, like, when people come in, they have like a big, like sort of like an airport security system. To me, you know, and to Anita Friedman, the head of DHS, we didn't like that. So, so we didn't do that. People just come in off the streets and stuff. And so we do check their bags if they're going to stay in shelter here. We have had no problems. The other thing is that if we have any problem, literally, we're across the street from the police, right? And we have a great relationship with them. And so we call them up and we say, it's usually for someone who has a mental illness and they haven't been taking their medication, right? And so usually that's when we have outbursts, but we have not. We have had no problems. And it also is because of my staff, right? They're really trained in de-escalating situations. So, but we're also, you know, so we're a model. So it's pretty exciting, yeah.
All right, I think we could probably go on all night on Q&A, but
Yeah,
we've got a
thank
bit past time. So,
And you have to go see if the Caps are winning.
and we have to go check
Yeah.
the score of the Caps.
Yes.
So a handful of thank yous but before we break. First off, to Kathy, to Scott for leading us on our tours this evening. Thank you. To the chef and the team that put the food together here. As always, our program committee led by Ed Nolan and Patrick Hope and our entire board of directors. This doesn't come together any month without everybody. Our next meeting, second Wednesday of the month, will be the 14th of June. We'll be back at Marymount. Watch your emails for information about the program. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Have a safe trip home, and look forward to seeing you next month.
And now that you know where we are, come back. Come back. You can serve the meal. It would be great. So come back.
And come back and visit often. Thank you.